All right, this is bonus from that Google Hangout. We decided to keep going because there's some really good questions that have been coming up, and figured why not keep going and give you some bonus material. Alex likes talking. He doesn't know how to bend his hat. He's from the era of like a 15. What are you, 15?
I'm 18.
What are you, 15?
I'm 18.
Do you shave?
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. That's okay. So, what was your question is involving getting paid? How do you set a price, right?
Yeah.
Anybody here getting paid to do their work, raise their hand.
Well, I'm.
Beside you. Anybody else anybody else here? Come on, anybody? Steve, you're not getting paid to do anything?
Just starting to.
All right. Well, how are you setting your price? I'm gonna let you talk about that, and we'll work together here to figure this out while I write a check.
All right. Well, I watched a couple of your videos on that, and you kind of said you got to start off free. You got to get out there. So what I'm kind of starting to do is doing some free shoots, giving free use for online only, and trying to get some prints from there.
But has anybody asked to pay for it from there?
Like I said, I got camera only 2 months ago.
Okay.
So no.
Now I'm not always an advocate. I'm not always an advocate of free. You don't want to get stuck in that. But if free gives you access to get to a place that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, then by all means, absolutely do it and parlay it into making money. I would just tell people that, listen, I'm doing this to get in, especially if it's like a charity event, and just say, I'll shoot the stuff for free, but put my name in the book, announce me as somebody who donated their time, and that leads to other types of jobs. You don't want to be known as the free photographer. Even if somebody buys you a pizza, if somebody does something, I like pizza, so people could buy me pizza and I'd be happy. It'd take a lot of pizza, though, to pay for a shoot, but still, it's, you get into that mentality of you got to make something because they get paid to do their job. You need to get something, even if it's $20, even if it's $50. It starts there. Alex.
Well, see, my situation was I did a party shoot. I mean, I've been doing photography for probably about 3-4 years now.
Yep.
And it's when I first started, I was like, oh, like $20 or $30 because I didn't feel confident enough with my pictures.
It takes a lot of $30 is to get to a 24 to 70.
Well, that was a graduation present, but I've bought a lot of photography stuff through it. But that's where I started, and I started charging a little bit more. But now it's all the people that I started with starting cheap. They wanted me to take more pictures of them now for that same price, and it's kind of I just tell them I can't.
You say no.
You say, listen, as a professional, you get Heidi. You want to come say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
No, say hi to everybody. I don't pay you enough to say hi to everybody? That's what she just said. I don't believe that. All right, Adam, take over that real quick while I say. Yeah. I'll mute myself.
I think it's okay. If you've got clients that have been paying you for a while.
Are we out of this?
And you've worked with them a while. I think it's perfectly cool for you to just talk to them before you engage in a shoot, so that you don't ever say it after the fact. And they say, yeah, we want to hire you, and you can say, well, I want you to know that my rates have changed. My business is growing, things are really going well, and I'm still going to take good care of you guys, but here's what it's going to cost, and be 100% honest and straightforward. You don't want to gouge people, but people will pay for something when they feel it's worth it. And you've already got a relationship with these people, so it's perfectly cool for them to understand that they were getting a deal while you were kind of developing your business, and that now it's time for them to step up and pay you more of a fair rate.
I see.
And it's perfectly normal. And a lot of I've got folks that I started working with years ago, and I still give them a friendly rate, but I don't do it for free, and if you're doing it for $20-$30 here and there,
that's where I started. Now I feel confident enough. I normally charge $30 an hour.
Right, and that's totally cool.
Turn the fan up one more.
Like for example, I just did a party shoot for my girlfriend's aunt. It was a 7-hour shoot, and I'm like, wow, and I told her, just give me $100, and she she won't pay me. It's like, you know, what the heck?
Now, who your girlfriend's aunt won't pay you because she's your girlfriend's aunt, or because she never agreed to paying you?
Well, see, it was weird. She didn't ask me to take pictures, but we went there and I took my camera back because I knew she'd want pictures.
Well, you see, there's a problem. You have to be upfront with people from the very beginning, and you can say, "Look, I have my camera. You know, I'm a professional photographer. I can do party pics, but you know,
you're gonna pay for them.
You have to pay for my rate." You know, and family's tough. You know, girlfriends and all that kind of stuff. We don't need to go there. But I think that being upfront at the beginning, even if it's like you show up somewhere and somebody's like, "Hey, man, would you mind taking pictures?"
Google
you could
chat.
be like,
"Come see this."
Yeah,
I'm on mute.
So
awesome.
I think that if you're upfront with people, they'll respect you for that.
Adam, but it's.
And how do you feel like? Do you feel they shouldn't see any pictures until you get some kind of payment?
No, I think that you can give people some
We're
tastes
answering.
and little,
bonus time.
little teasers. Maybe a couple low res. You know, maybe you pick like, a handful of low res and say, here's some teasers. Like you're excited about it and you want them to be excited.
No, I already went through that.
As far as delivering the entire job before you're getting payment, that's a touchy thing. I mean, there's some clients that I have that I've got written contracts that are like 5 pages long with like legal people going back and forth with me. That's completely mental. And then I've got clients that everything's always been word of mouth. So you have to kind of gauge it on that.
Yeah, and
but
I'm back. what I'll add to that is there's I'll deliver some low res stuff to the people online, but if it's a new client, it's somebody I haven't worked with. Oh, hey, I'll get to you in one second, Robert. If it's somebody new, I mean, I don't know. I try to play with the honor system. I like handshake. I like agreements. Like I agree to do this, I agree to do that, and they agree to pay me this, and they agree to pay me that. Like I do that with conferences. I have a good rapport with these people, but yeah, I mean, if it's new people, try to get them to pay you first. Even if they give you a deposit up front and then you deliver it, even if you just deliver the low res first, don't give them the high until they pay for you. Robert, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I like the comment that was made. You don't want to be known as the free photographer. I even got sucked into doing a wedding within the last year. But Michael was talking about something similar too. How do you start getting paid? And I was just going to throw in, you almost have to be a salesperson. So maybe even go online and look for some online tutorials on how to become a better salesperson. Maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, sales is the key. And Preston, do you have trouble with sales at all?
I really haven't sold anything. I've just been researching, really. But
do you feel that you're more reserved and you're less comfortable speaking to people and stuff like that, or?
Not really. I can go up and talk to somebody. Something my dad's taught me. He's a businessman. He said, the value of your services declines immediately once it's performed. So what that means is that, like, if you go out and take pictures and then show it to the person and then ask for money,
it's not
less
worth
likely that you're getting paid.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a spec thing, speculative stuff. You get less money because then it's worthless to you if they don't buy it, and then they know it's worthless to you if they don't buy it because they don't want to spend as much money. So that's good. Yeah, and sales, like I grew up in a sales family. I listened to my dad sell since I was like 4 or 5 years old, going into his office when he was selling clothes, children's wear, and I would listen to how he dealt with people or handled issues, and if there was a mistake, how you own up to it, and how you're honest, and how you don't try to pull one over on somebody. If you're just honest with people and just go, listen, I could do this, I can give you a discount. It's always better to say, listen, my normal rate is X, which you mark up, and but you're a friend, I'm gonna do this. Maybe I'll throw in some extra prints for nothing. And it's stuff that doesn't cost you as much, but it's always good. People like getting a discount. So there's nothing wrong with giving somebody a little bit of a break, but you're giving your friends a break. But then when it comes to their friends, then it's not break time. It's, listen, let's work something out. And here's a really good thing when it comes to selling. If somebody's like, they flat out deny what you, well, okay, I'm going to start that over before we even get to that. Just say, what is your budget? Ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what are you looking to spend? Or what do you have budgeted? And you say, well, honestly, I was thinking something a little higher, but this is what I could tailor make for you. So it's all about working with somebody and saying, all right, I can work around this. Let's make it work together. You only have $1,000 to spend. It was going to be $2,000. So instead of X, I'll deliver you this instead. And in the future, if you'd like to add to it, then we could charge you more. But you're not going to turn down a $1,000 gig anymore. Most people are going to have trouble turning down a gig. And I found when I'm trying to get things from people these days that, you know, if you make an offer and you're willing to actually pay something and understand that somebody's doing a job professionally and you like getting paid, they like getting paid, just be honest. Listen, I can only pay X amount of dollars. Would you be willing to do it for that? People are going to be hard-pressed nowadays to say, no, I'm going to turn down $600. You know?
I want to add something to that. I try to think of doing photography jobs with kind of like a triangle of points that could be touched. And if one or all of them are touched, it's worth considering in my book, in that you've got financial reward, you've got creative control, and you've got potential book work or portfolio building work. So if you're offered a job that maybe doesn't have a lot of money, but you know that, man, if I shoot this wedding, this couple is so incredibly beautiful, and I'm going to have these pictures that I'm going to be able to put in my portfolio and get more weddings from, then it might be worth doing it for less money. Or if a couple says, look, we want you to shoot this for us, and we're going to pay you some money, but you can't do anything with these images. They can't be shared online. They can't be shown to anybody. If the money's good enough, at least you're out there shooting. Or if somebody says, you know, we can't really pay you a lot of money, you can do anything you want with these, we actually don't really know, so we want you to come up with some good ideas, then you get the creative control to be the director of this shoot, to come up with, and they've agreed to basically say, look, you're in charge, and this is your vision, and you get to come up with that vision, and then when you show this work to somebody, say, you know what, this was entirely my vision. So if you can touch on any one of those 3 points, or all of them, in my book, it's worth taking. You know, obviously situations, you know, can depend, but you know, that's one thing that I like to look at.
Sure.
And also, something to add, if you're not sure about the pricing of like how much you should go out and shoot for, you can go, something I've done, pretend that you're getting married or something. Call up local photographers that are taking wedding pictures. That way you can get their sales pitch and their pricing.
Yep.
So you gain experience from that as well.
Great addition. That is absolutely correct. I've done that in the past. I've called... I had somebody tell me, oh, I'm thinking of using this photographer, and they told me who, and I called, and I was just like, are you kidding me? And I think they were doing it just to push my buttons, but they knew that I would call this person or look at their work and go, oh my God, this is terrible. I can't allow you to work with them. I'm not going to let you do it. I mean, it's hard to turn stuff down. It's hard to turn stuff down nowadays, just in any time. I mean, you like getting paid for what you do, so you have to make those decisions. But coming back to the original question, why we kept going through all of this, is how do you price yourself out? Everybody's going to have a different price. You have to look at, are you paying rent? Do you live on your own? Do you live at home? Do you have to get gear? Do you need to rent gear? You look at what would you like to make per hour, and if $25 an hour sounds good to you, then good. If $50 an hour sounds good to you, then good. If $100 an hour sounds good, then boom. Like I think that every photo shoot that's like a portrait session where you spend an hour shooting them, an hour in travel, an hour in editing, and an hour somewhere else made up, because it's for something, then $375, $400. It just sounds good. It sounds reasonable. You're doing a good amount of work, and you're delivering something to the people. So, and I'll also say this: when you're making packages and things like that, added value, things that you can add extra, like let's see, Steve over here has my hair pick. Anything you can add extra that somebody didn't know they were going to get, you're adding value. It's something that's useful. I mean, the hair pick may not be useful, but the stickers that people get and things like that are useful. It's added value. It looks good. It sounds good. They feel like they're getting something extra for nothing. That's always a great thing when it comes to selling. Things that you can add on that don't cost you too much money, but do add value. It's all about adding value.
I gotta say, I ordered a shirt, and I was not expecting all the extra stuff that came with it, and it made me feel good.
What'd you
liked
get?
it.
What'd you get with it, by the way?
I got the Pro Pick. I got some stickers. I think that was it. But I wasn't expecting it, and it made me feel good. I liked it.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting too? From time to time, I print out all the orders, and then I pass it down to Heidi now, who does all the packing. But I leave notes on there. If I see a person's name come up numerous times that they've purchased and they've been around for a long time or they've interacted in the community, I leave a little note there to throw in a sticker pack. Throw in 6 extra stickers. If somebody picks up a bunch of stuff, I don't have a problem saying, put in the keychain, give this person a keychain, or if it's, it's a young person, I throw in some extra stuff. It's just, I don't know, I don't need to just be straight by the book and, this is what you get and that's all you're going to get. But if I see the same names coming up, and I don't know, it's all about, again, it's added value and making people feel a part of the community.
Yeah, and something else. Pricing. If you want to do a lot of work, you can sell 50 pictures for $30 and you'll make $1,500. Or if you think you can sell them for $50, you only sell 30 of them. So it's a lot less work.
Yep.
But then the other thing is, will people buy them for that much? So you kind of have to balance it out between however many people you think will buy it and the work you want to do to try and sell it.
Well, then, yeah, and on to that note, the same thing happens with weddings. You could be a $1,000 wedding photographer and shoot 50 of them a year. You're busting your ass to shoot 50 weddings, and you're not making that much money. Or you could shoot 25 weddings at $2,000, or you could shoot 15 weddings at $3,000 or $4,000. And you're doing less work, but you're making more money. You're putting out a better quality product, most likely, if you can get that type of money. But yeah, I know a person, they shot like 47 weddings in 1 year. But when you're doing $1,200 weddings, you're busting your ass and you're not making that much money. You should make a good amount of money on a wedding. So, anybody?
I got one more, or go ahead. Who was talking?
I was talking, but. Who's up? Wait, let's see if Robert Reich wants to add anything yet. Robert, you ready to add something? No? Come on, you can say hello at least. I think he's looking for the mute button. All right, who's adding something next?
Has anyone ever encountered the problem of what am I saying? I have my own camera. I can take my own pictures.
Absolutely. I run into that all the time. Not all the time.
I seem to get that a lot, too.
Oh, I got one. I'm raising my hand. Call on me, Jared. Okay, Jared. Yeah. I'm having deja vu like we've already done this before. Maybe I've said this before, that's why. But I've encountered things like people shooting concerts for free and they keep getting passes because they're shooting it for free and I cost money. That's a direct quote. He shoots it for free and you cost money. So at the end of the show, I showed a really, really nice picture to them and said, this is the difference between free and good. And I left it at that. And now they're coming back to me to want to hire me, to pay me money to go do other shows that originally they weren't going to have me do because they realized that, free and good, there's a difference, and that's, sometimes you just walk away from those people. If they say they can do it, you just go like, all right, go ahead, do it. And they may come back to you one day and be like, you were absolutely correct. I need to hire you. See, that's another thing, is knowing when to say no to somebody when they just devalue you so much, or say, this guy's going to do it for half off. You go, okay, I cannot do that because it's going to cost me that amount of money to do the job. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but if, my work speaks for itself. That's something that I've gotten, understood for a long while, that when you have quality work and you're confident in your value and your work and you're going to deliver something well, that, you can say my work, what you're going to get. You can see time and time again the type of value that I deliver, And hey, we should call him Preston now that he's not in his chair. But you should see that, you see the type of value I deliver. You can go try this person out, but look at their work. They do not have the same quality, and if that's what you're happy with, then by all means go with them. But you'll call me in another 6 months to redo it. Now it takes balls to get to that point to say that, right, Adam? It takes time to get to the point to be able to walk away from a job. You got to unmute yourself.
I had a situation like that recently, where I offered to do some spec work for a fitness model, and then I had a bunch of meetings, and they turned it into this massive production with stylists and assistants and all this kind of stuff, who they all wanted to pay, but they still wanted me to work for spec. And I offered them an incredibly discount rate, but at the end of the day, I just said, look, I can't shoot this for free, and I had to walk away.
Sure. We got Sebastian, you have a question. You're raising your hand. What's up?
Yeah, I'm just about the job things. I get jobs. They call me.
Yeah.
And I say no to them because I don't feel I have the equipment to shoot portraits of families and stuff.
Yeah, make it happen.
Should I try?
Oh, absolutely. You got to start somewhere, and if they keep calling you, don't say I don't have the equipment. Find a way to get it. Talk to friends in the area that may have the camera gear that you can borrow. See if you can rent something. At least take the job, build it into the cost if you can, and go from there so that you can, do the job, because you don't want to be the guy that says no to everything. You want to be the guy that you want to be the yes guy that, yeah, I can do that. Anytime somebody calls me and Jared, can you do some aerial photography out of a helicopter? Yes, absolutely. Jared, can you skydive and take pictures? All right, why not? Always find a way to do it. Now, I've shot from a helicopter once. I was in college with my professor. I was assisting him in the helicopter. Is it hard to do? No, I could call him and ask for some tips. He'd tell me where to go get the helicopter and whatnot, but I'd find a way to do it. So, yeah, find a way to make it happen, Sebastian.
Yeah, the thing is, if I use my equipment and one job gets bad done and they are not satisfied.
Well,
you have to take that risk, man.
Yeah, you got to take the risk, and
we've all been there. We've all gotten on set for different jobs or showed up and been like, man, what am I going to do? But this goes back to what we were talking about before. You got to spend time before you go on site to do a paid job and research it. Research the location. Think about what you're going to shoot. Sketch it out on paper. Think about maybe your camera settings. Think about how you're going to light it. Think about the time of day that it's going to be there. Am I going to be doing group shots? Am I going to need to zoom? Am I going to need, to be close up? Am I going to be shooting wide? Get yourself, if you do that basic amount of preparation, even if the situation is going to be different, you'll be so much better off. You'll be more comfortable and you'll be more prepared. The client will recognize that and you'll work a lot better.
Good.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I want to call on Tom here. Tom, what time is it, buddy?
10:20.
Oh, that's it? So do you have school tomorrow? You guys start school yet?
No, still in summer.
Hogwarts is out right now?
Kind of destroyed the big Voldemort fight thing, so...
No, don't tell me I never watched any of them.
Well, how's it going to ruin it then if you're not going to even start watching them?
I saw the first one and fell asleep during the second.
Good on you. I'll let you off then.
All right. Yes. Michael.
Now, building off the whole, age thing, do you feel as if if I charged less, people would think that it would make up for my age difference, even though I'm still putting out as good as a product as, say, you guys?
No. Here. The one thing I learned being a very young photographer, 14, 15 years old, in a professional environment at the Flyers, I learned that if I first had to look the part. If you look like you belong and you act as if you have the confidence, you can talk to people, you can show them the quality work, you command the same value that somebody else commands. Age is, if somebody comes to you and goes, oh, you're too young, this other person can do it, you'd be like, you know what? Give me that chance. Let me prove myself. Take a chance on me and let me do it. And if I fail, then I fail and you won't have to see me again. But if I succeed, look, I did really well. You know what I mean? I don't devalue yourself because of your age. Fight through that and just tell people to F off. I'm not going to curse fully, but I'll just be like, just listen, I can do this. Just be confident. Yeah, I can do this. And if I need help, I'm going to find help. And there's no reason why they should pay you any less. I have the same gear as this guy. I may do it better than he may. You know what I mean? So why? Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah.
How old are you, by the way?
Yeah, also...
Hold on, Preston. Michael, how old are you? 14. Have you been getting paid to do work?
Like, the most I've come in with is, net probably like 300, 400.
That's,
over, like, a year. So, I mean...
well, still, it's a start. Here, let's just look for an angle for you. Your parents have friends that have parties. There's kids. There's little kids. Start saying, I'll come shoot the birthday party for like $200, and I'll give you all the files that you can put on your website, you can put on Facebook, and the sales pitch to the parents is, listen, you want to enjoy the party and not worry about taking pictures. Let me take the pictures. Then guess what? You can turn around and deliver on Facebook, or you can email all the parents of these kids some photos of their little kids. All right? So that means they're now delivering something to people who came to their party. They're paying them back by giving them a photo of their kid that may be a cool portrait or a candid shot of the kids playing in the pool, playing in the backyard, bouncing in the bouncy bounce. And from there, they're going to say, wow, who took these pictures? And they'll be like, oh, this awesome photographer. You know what? He's 14, but he does an amazing job. And then they're going to want you to take their 3-year-old's birthday pictures. And it can spiral from there. So it's just looking for those angles that get you in. Where do you have the ins? Your parents can help you get with their with the friends. You can see who has kids and just say, listen, you know what? Allow me to shoot the photos of your kids. And I know Preston said this earlier, but if you take some pictures and then you try to sell them, I think it may be all right in this situation. Say, listen, allow me to come in and photograph this party. I'll do the first one for nothing because you're trying to build up what you're trying to do here. And you do that first party for somebody. They'll deliver the pictures to their friends. And then you have an in with, hey, look, this kid, awesome, took these photos. You should try having him over for your birthday. You know what? It's worth having it because I didn't want to be bothered taking the pictures. He did a better job than I would ever do. And now I've got 100 amazing images to remember my 2-year-old's birthday by. Done. Signed, sealed, and delivered. I need to drink some water. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, Michael, given your age and the fact that you've probably got a lot of contacts that are in junior high school and high school, here's an angle for you, which would give you some repeat business. What you basically do is say, I'll take the pictures every year, and then at graduation, I'll put together the, you know how at graduation they'll have a board with all the pictures of the kid growing up and stuff. So you could get repeat business year after year from the same families.
Yep. That could work.
Yep.
Alex, you've been quiet for a while, buddy.
Yeah.
You got nothing else?
What do you feel on like the equipment makes a photographer, that big debate?
I will outshoot. Okay. I will outshoot many people with my iPhone if I really, 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 really needed to. It doesn't matter what you have. I have here a Nikon Coolpix, what is this, P300. If I needed to use this to get the job done, I could get the job done. There's a difference between a photographer and a guy who has a lot of equipment and has a lot of money to spend. Just because you have the best gear doesn't mean you know how to use it. So it's the same thing. It's like, just because you buy the best baseball bat doesn't mean you're going to hit the ball. It's
like the guy who buys like the most expensive camera and just puts it in automatic mode and shoots JPEGs.
Right. That's the thing.
What's
the camera does not make the photographer. The photographer here, and people ask me, Jared, but you use a D3S. You have all this great glass. Yeah, I use it because it's the proper tools for the job that I'm comfortable using at this point, and I've earned my way to use it. I started off with a basic camera and a basic lens and had to work my way up. So, I use the right tools for the job because that's what gets the job done for me. But if, like, I went out and I shot with a D3100 the other day because that's what my friend had. He's like, will you shoot some portraits of me real quick? And I'm like, no. My camera's in the car. And then he takes out the D3100, and you know what? I can't. It's a challenge. I want that challenge of shooting with a kit lens, an 18-55 VR, and the D3100 to get cool portraits. And Adam saw the pictures. They're good portraits.
Grainy, but good.
I agree.
They're a little grainy, but yeah, that's the D3100.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I agree with you completely. I wanted to see how you felt like that before I was mentioning to the guy that was talking about not having the right equipment.
Sure.
I wanted to add something on that. I was thinking, I think you can almost do anything with what you have. You just have to know how to do it. To a certain extent, obviously you can't take wide angle without a wide angle lens, but
yeah, you can always adapt to the situation. So
that's what I wanted to kind of recommend that to him.
Sure.
Saying, just
you make it work with what you've got.
Use what you got till you can get what you need.
Yep.
But the one thing that we're also discounting here is that you can rent almost anything.
Oh yeah, that too.
For nothing. I mean, I rented a $1,000 macro lens the other day for $22 with tax for the whole day.
Yep.
And that was a full day of work, billing at a proper rate, and it cost me $22 for a lens that I almost never use. Sure, I'd love to have one, but I don't have $1,000 to spend on it right now.
Yeah.
And you can rent stuff locally, and you can rent stuff online. So, if gear is a barrier, it shouldn't be. You can always find the gear out there.
Yep. Good call. So, I think we're coming up again. We could keep going on forever. You know who we haven't heard from, Matthew? What have you gathered from all of this? You just absorbing it, or?
Pretty much absorbing.
Useful stuff.
Good information.
Good stuff.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. Because I'm just trying to get into. Mostly, I shoot like nature or landscape, that kind of stuff. And I'm not really getting bored of it, but I'm kind of like, I've shot everything around my house and around where I live.
Sure.
Like, there's nothing else I can really do.
Sure.
In that subject. So I'm trying to get into like people and that kind of stuff. So this is all really good information for
all right. Good.
Getting into that stuff.
Awesome. So, yeah, I'm getting ready. I got to go cook some dinner. Go ahead, Sebastian.
Yeah, about the equipment thing.
Yeah.
The thing I shoot with a Nikon D3100 and a 50mm 1.8, and the thing is what I'm thinking about when I'm coming with the camera with the lens on, and they are like expecting some big things and not just neighbor guys.
Sure.
He could shoot.
Well,
us.
Have they seen your work?
Yeah.
And that's why they hired you, right?
Yeah.
Then you say, listen, this is the tool that I use, and you love the work that I've shown you, and you know what? Give me a tin can, and I'll get a great picture out of it. So just reverse it on them. Listen, I can do it. I can do it with anything. You've seen the work. You like it. This is why you hired me. If you don't like it later, we'll make it right somehow. I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
So, Adam, you want to wrap up? Anything you want to say?
No, I mean, I really just think that, if you're worried about gear, or you want to try out gear, or you're thinking about even buying gear, like let's say you're like, I don't know if I should buy the 7D or the 5D or the D700 or the D7000 or whatever it is, just rent for a weekend, do some shoots with it. It can never hurt. It's a pretty cheap investment on your future. To do something like that.
And I know if you're local to, at Allen's, Allen rents stuff when you're there or pretty close, and if you decide you want to buy it, he'll deduct the rental fee from it. So
there's other options.
All right. I think that's going to be it. Preston, thank you for your insights, man. Thomas, thank you for staying up. Sebastian, great job. Robert, thank you for your stuff. Robert Reich, thank you for sitting there quietly and enjoying the video. Michael, keep shooting. Just look the part, sell yourself, and just get out there and do it. Matthew, enjoy shooting the landscapes, but definitely see if you like shooting the people. Alex, you talk a lot, but that's a good thing. How's your, let's see your work. Shoot me an email to my personal email.
What's your personal email?
Yeah.
You can message me after,
it's
so
a
you don't have all
personal email. That's the thing. Do you have my Skype name?
No.
You have? All right, just send me an email. You'll go to my website and just hit contact the Fro and just say, Michael, Alex, I was in the chat. I wear that really expensive New Era hat that's not bent. All right.
Okay.
So shoot that over. And Adam, thank you for joining as well. And I love this type of Google chat. It's not just us talking. It's everybody in the chat participating, helping each other, learning from each other. It's better than just listening to me or Adam yap, because it's not all about us. It's about learning from each other and going from there. So, all right, guys, everybody give a wave goodbye. Thank you, guys. Great job. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.